What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Germond, aka the Real Binary Master. On today's video, I'm going to be going over an in-depth overview on TradingView, how to mark up charts, and where to find indicators and locate indicators at. So a basic overview of TradingView, and let's get right into it. Alright, so guys, when you guys load up TradingView, it's going to kind of look like something like this. It's going to bring up preferably the day time frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all my drawings, and this is what you call top-down analysis. I start on the daily time frame, and then I'll work my way down from the day. I'll go into the 4 hour, possibly the hour, and then I'll go down and break it down into smaller time frames when I'm trading binary options. And then I'll go to the 15, the 5, and the 1 while I'm trading binary. But I always start with a daily, and I go in to smaller time frames from there. Now the reason why I do this is because I want to know in the overall direction the market is flowing or going in. Okay? It's important to understand what direction the total market is going in, because I need you guys to understand while you're marking up charts and while you're trading, one very important little key that can help you guys while trading is always remember that the trend is going to be your friend until the bend in the end, right? So you're going to want to be taking trades in the direction of the overall trend. Now, as we can see on the daily on XRP USD, we would all be in agreement that the overall trend is up, correct? Now, there are what you call a primary trend and then a secondary trend. When finding trend lines, just understand that it's the areas that have price action has come to and has reacted from, away from, okay? So here we have bounce, consolidation, bounce, bounce. Then we start to press up away from the trend, consolidate, consolidate, come back. As you guys can see here, we test the strength of the trend right here. We get this last push to the upside, and then as you guys can see, we start consolidating, creating higher lows, until we break out of this zone here. And now, you know, we pushed up, started creating higher highs. Now this is on the daily time frame, so each candle represents 1 day. Each candle represents 24 hours of price action. So looking at this chart on the daily time frame, we can see that yes, the overall trend may be up, but what else do we see? We see that we're actually starting a downtrend on the daily time frame. I like to do this too, just so that way you can see that this, you know, this might be the primary part of the second trend, but here we can see that this has also been respected as a trend. As we touched here, we reject, then we reject it again here, and all through here we're respecting this downtrend on the daily time frame here. At the same time, we're respecting this uptrend on the daily time frame here. So what does that mean? I'm glad this opportunity presented itself right here so I can share with you guys how we would be looking to potentially take trade ideas or trade setups from this area. So we know that we are in a short-term downtrend. Overall trend is up. What we would want to see happen is we want to see price break out of this consolidation zone. We want to see price break this trend either to the downside or to the upside. So what we'd be looking for something like this. Price to work down. Let me change color. Price to work down, come back up, retest this area, and then we would be looking for the drop, right? If it rejected this area, we'd be looking for the drop. Or we could be looking for something like this, the opposite. We could get a break to the upside, price could come back down, test this trend out here, and then start working its way back up. Now, for an example like this, we're simply waiting for price action to make its move and let us know the direction it wants to go. And then all we're going to do is wait for price action to come back, retest that area, and then we would enter a potential sell or a potential buy. I'm sure you guys will hear over the course of your trading time that X marks the spot. As you can see, this is the X. So we are getting very, very close for XRP USD to make a decision. It's going to have to make a decision on what it wants to do. Is it going to push to the upside and create higher highs? Is it going to push to the upside and get rejected off of this trend? Or is it just going to break this uptrend and come down to the lower end of support, which would probably be right around between 35 and 26 cents? Or are we going to see it push back up and come back up and test the dollar region, which would be this zone right here? So it makes sense in either scenario. You can see that either scenario kind of makes sense, right? So what we do in this instance is when price is indecisive, not sure which direction it's really going to go in, what we do in this instance is we wait for the breakout. We wait for the breakout. And again, a breakout looks something like this. We're going to get that push to the upside. And we're going to get that pullback either to the trend here, and then what we wait for is we wait for price to respect this zone. So kind of like here, respected it, pushed up from it, and started carrying up. That's kind of what we're waiting for here, for price to break out, come back down to the support, and then continue higher. Now, if we're looking for a downside move, this is kind of the move we're looking for here. We'd be waiting for a break below the trend line, price to come back up to the trend line, and then get rejected and knocked back down. So that's pretty unique that XRP USD is actually presenting itself right there. Presenting itself as a potential opportunity in the coming day, hours, minutes. I mean, this is getting down to the nitty-gritty, guys, where something's going to happen sooner than later. So it's cool that happened, and I was able to share that with you guys. So let's get back into the discussion of this video, and let me complete my top-down analysis. Actually, go back, delete this, delete this. Just delete some of the extra additional lines that we don't need. I don't want anybody getting confused with all the extra drawings that I have up here. Okay, so here we go. We got an overall uptrend. We started a secondary downtrend, and then within that downtrend, we were respecting this zone here as a significant downtrend as well. So I just marked that up so that way I know that, hey, it is possible for price to come up to this area and start getting rejected down to the downside. We could start looking for sells. At the same time, when price bounces off of this bottom support, we know, hey, we can start looking for buys. And again, if price broke through this zone, it could actually come all the way up to here and then get knocked back down. And we could have a consolidation, kind of like a ranging price movement in between this zone. I don't know, if that's going to be an instance, but I just want to show you guys, all probabilities, possibilities while trading. It's about the higher probability setup. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be right 100% of the time. But with technical analysis and understanding fundamental analysis, how the market reacts to major world news and events like that, that can also play a key role in your success as a trader. All right, so now that we have the trend drawn out, we're still on the daily time frame. Remember what I said about the daily time frame. Each candle represents 24 hours of price action. So now we're going to look for a support, a resistance, and an area that may have been a support and now is a resistance, or vice versa. It is a resistance and was a resistance and now has turned into a support. So for support, guys, we can see that this whole zone here is pretty significant support. So what I do for my support is I like to make it blue. I like to make my support blue. Feel free to use any colors that you'd like. And what we're going to do with the support is we're just going to make sure that it's right here at this level. Now this is a good support. We have price come to it numerous times and bounce off of and push away from. And then again, once price pushed up away from the support, it came all the way back down, found support again, as you guys can see in this zone here. Price consolidated from this support zone, started pushing up from the support zone, and then started creating higher lows. So higher lows is a sign that we are going into a potential uptrend, or that we're in an uptrend. So here we have our first set of lows printed, and then as you can see, we have our second higher low printed here, higher low printed there, higher low printed here, and as you can see, guys, we just keep creating higher lows during the uptrend, right? So while you're in an uptrend, you're looking for higher lows and also higher highs. I just wanted to show you guys so you guys get a visual. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Same here, higher low, again here, and again here. Creating higher lows. Then we get this massive push to the upside, and we get smacked down from the trend resistance. Let me get rid of these arrows for you guys. And then if your screen is like this and you want it to go back to the way it was, so you can see it better, you just click the refresh button and you can zoom in and out as you please. Alright, so now that we have the support zone marked up, now we're going to be looking for an area that is acting as a resistance that may have been a support, or maybe become a support, or is a support. So here we go. We have price right here numerous times has been rejected from this zone. See it? Price got rejected, 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 and then boom. Let me just mark this up so I can show you guys. right here, this big bullish engulfing candle. You can see I have a big bullish engulfing candle breaking this resistance, and now once a support or once a resistance has been broke, it becomes a support. So now that price has broken out of this zone, and in the future, when price comes back to this zone here, we can anticipate it's going to bounce, maybe consolidate above it, but eventually it's going to potentially push up or break the support. And as you guys can see in the future, because price has already played out, we came, see this, guys? We broke it here, and we came back here and retested this support, pushed up to the new downtrend, and then started getting rejected from the downtrend. So, you know, even something like this, guys, on the daily time frame, this rejection from this support up to here, guys, that's like 3,800 pips. That's a 38-cent move on XRP, which is incredible. And that's just off of a bounce from support. That's just off of basic technical analysis using market structure. All right. So now that we have a support, we have our support turned resistance, turn back support. Now let's look for our resistance zone. Now, if you have trouble finding a resistance area, you can always look to the left. Always look to the left. So we can see that this area here, this whole area, has justified this stoppage of price. But because we want to make it where price has hit multiple times, I feel comfortable, you know, putting the resistance level right around where it's at right here. Maybe we can go down slightly lower just to cover this push down here, this wick here. So what I need you to understand, guys, is that while you're setting up your support and your resistance, and then your support turn resistance or your resistance turn support, it's not going to be perfect, guys. And if you question where you're setting up, you know, your support, your resistance, a simple way to double check it that I like to do is, you see right here in the left hand corner right here, these bars. If you actually click on those bars, the candles, you can scroll down to where it says line. You click on line, and you're going to actually see, oh wow, I didn't have price on it. So the line graph, what it does is just shows you where price closes. A candle shows you where price opens and closes. So for marking up support, resistance, and support turn resistance, it may be better for you to just mark it up on the line graph, the line chart, and then from there, you know, you can go ahead and turn it back to the candle. So what I've noticed is that maybe you know, it could be a better support turn resistance here, based off of, you know, the based off the line graph, because we got this move here, and we have all this moves here where it's staying below it. So this whole zone could be potentially, you know, your make a color, make it bigger. So this, between this area, could be like your whole support turn resistance or resistance zone. So now when price comes back to this area, anywhere in between here, so here, here, or in between here, we know, okay, price could potentially either A, turn around from this area and start pushing up to the upside, or B, it's going to break this zone and come back down to the next zone. So I need you to understand, when a support is broken, price action will go to the previous support or the next resistance. So like I said, guys, price broke out of this zone here, right here, with a nice move right here, and then price came all the way up, started getting rejected from the resistance level, plus got rejected from the trend up here, came back beneath the resistance level, and then stayed beneath the secondary downtrend and the rejection zone up top, the resistance level up top. Think of a resistance as a ceiling, and think of support as a floor. If you if you jump up and down and you hit your head on the ceiling, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna put you on your butt, and you're probably gonna go down to the floor, right? And then if you fall on the floor, or if you bounce a tennis ball off the floor, what happens? It bounces back up. So kind of think of it like that. Support equals floor, resistance equals ceiling. Support equals floor, resistance equals ceiling. So now that we have our support, our resistance, and then our support resistance area, we can go to a smaller time frame. Well, first off, we can turn it back to candles, which is right here, the bar graph, and then you just scroll, click candles. What I like to do next is I'm going to go to the 4 hour. I just like to peep out, take a quick look on the 4 hour. But usually what I do is I do my second market structure analysis off the hour time frame. I'll go down to the hour time frame, and the same thing, guys. I'm just going to look for my support. I'm going to look for my resistance. And I'm going to look for an area that may have been a support turned resistance, or vice versa. So now on the hour time frame, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, instead of using the vertical, instead of using the horizontal line, I'm going to use a horizontal ray. Horizontal line is going to be, tells me that, okay, that's happening on the higher time frame. And if something happens on the higher time frame, it's more, it's a stronger confirmation, because, on shorter time frames, things can change. You could be in a short-term uptrend, but an overall downtrend, and when price pushes up and touches that downtrend area, you could get really, price could really drop rapidly from that area because your overall trend's in a downtrend. So always pay attention to the trends. Always pay attention to support areas, resistance areas, resistance turn support, or support turn resistance. Excuse me. Alright, so with that, we're gonna find our support. So right here, guys, I can see right off the rip. I'll change the color. I'll change the size to 2. And this way I know, okay, this is happening on the smaller time frames. So as you guys can see here, this is a good example. As you can see here, price has been rejecting off of the daily downtrend, and then we created a support area. Price action created a support area at this area around 59 cents. See how it bounced from here, consolidated, stayed above, consolidated, stayed above, slightly broke it, boom, had a bullish engulfing candle, pushed back up to the rejection zone, and then from the rejection zone we had a massive bearish engulfing candle breaking this support. Now again, we do not take the break, we wait for the retest, right? We wait for the retest, and as you guys can see, can't make this stuff up, price broke this support, retested it there, and has retested it there. As long as price stays beneath this 59 cent zone, we can anticipate price to continuing to the downside. We would continue to anticipate that price was going to make a move to the downside, either A, come test out the bottom trend support, or B, it's going to break it. If it breaks it, we're going to wait for the retest. So if price comes and breaks the support, we're going to wait for the pullback up to the trend line, and we're going to take the continuation to the downside. Right? because we're in a downtrend. We're looking to create a lower low, so we can anticipate that price is not just going to stop here, but it's going to create a lower low, and whether that be here, 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 not really sure. But based off of our daily support, if we break the daily trend, you know, coming down all the way down to the daily support, I mean, you guys can see that's a massive, massive drop, right? And anywhere from 21.5 cents to 35 cents, I'm going to say, is going to be that zone where we're looking for price to come. Once we break this area, that's where we're going to be looking for price to come. Alright, so now that we have that, now we have our support area that's turned to resistance. Let's see if we can find another support area. Just for demonstration purposes, I don't really see actually another support area. Let me look to the left. No, there's nothing. So now that we don't have anything on the left, when price comes back down here, we'll have to pay attention to see if we get a reaction, you know, from here, this area here. Because if we get a reaction from this area here, this could potentially be a support. But as it sits right now, there's not enough data, there's not enough information to verify or validate this area being a support, because price hasn't came down and reacted from it. But you can see here and here, see how price stayed beneath this zone, came back down, pushed back up. Once it broke it, it started, you know, breaking the other support and resistances, and then as we broke it, we got rejected a heavy level of resistance around 70 cents, came back down to, you know, that 59 cents area, pushed back up, and then started its move, consolidated move, and then boom, it dropped because we could price. The reason why price dropped from this area here is because you see we have too many confluences for selling pressure. We got the daily secondary trend rejection zone, and then we have a daily resistance level right at that same area. And then price just said, nope, there's not enough buying pressure to take me up. I got to come down and get some liquidity. I got to come down and get some orders so I can try to come back up and get that momentum to come back up. Came down here, bounced from support, and as you can see, guys, we're just in like this unique consolidation zone, and we're really not making that big a movement on the hour time frame. So now we're going to go to the 15-minute time frame and see what we got going on. Just minus the yellow line. So as you guys can see here, price broke this zone, stayed beneath it. So on the 15-minute, I like to see if we have any potential new trend lines coming in play that I could start to look for, like maybe on the 5-minute, look for a potential quick setup for a binary trade. So what I do is I'll go here, and I'll just connect the high points. Let me go to a smaller. I'll just connect the high points of the wicks. And when I zoom in, I see we respected it here. This whole area was respected. It respected it here, this whole area, and then bam, right here. Price pushed up, almost broke it, came back down, and now here we are, right? We're right at that area again. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out over the next 15 minutes to 30 minutes, because price could, like, you know, stay right there and then drop, or stay right there and then pop. So we're going to go to the 5-minute now. Let me go back to 15, I'm sorry. So we have our, this area here could be considered a mini support area for the time being based off the 15-minute. We have price staying above this zone. We have a massive wick rejection of the same zone. Price stayed above it. Price came back over here and bounced from it and started pushing up. So this area here is decent. It's okay to use as a shorter time frame support. And then we have a shorter time frame resistance. Just make sure you guys see that. Make sure you guys see this. So here on the 15-minute time frame, what we have is a consolidation zone on the 15-minute time frame, and we can see right here, prices stayed beneath and above this zone. So we're just consolidating this zone. So we're going to go to the 5-minute time frame now, guys, and then we look for the same thing: support, resistance, and the trend line. Not going to really add any more lines because I see that this is a decent support on the 15. It's acting as a decent support on the 5. This is acting as a decent rejection zone on the 15 and 5, and the same. This is on the hour time frame. So we have some key areas to pay attention to. We have our secondary daily rejection zone here. We have our 15-minute downtrend here, which that downtrend is just respecting the bigger downtrend on the daily. It's just I was looking for potential reaction areas, right? We just want to look for potential reaction areas where price can work up to and then get hit down, or price can work down to and then bounce back up. So in this instance, we're looking for sells based off of where we are in the market. We're respecting this downtrend, and we're respecting this level here. We're staying to the down of it. I would take, me personally, I would take a 10-minute sell here. Let's in this zone, because in my opinion, like I said, we're consolidating. So I would take my first sell here, and then I would take my second sell here. I'll take my second sell here. Let's see how it plays out, because price could break this and push up. If it does that, then we're going to watch and wait and see what happens around the 59 cents area. If it breaks that 59 cents area, then we could look for longer term buys on a higher time frame, and on binary we could start looking for 10-minute, 15-minute buys, because when it comes to XRP, unfortunately, it's 10 minutes per trade is the minimum when it comes to binary with XRP. You can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum on Turbo, which Turbo you can trade anywhere from 1 minute to 30 minutes. However, with XRP and certain other cryptocurrency altcoins, there is a minimum requirement of 10 minutes. There it is, guys. There it is. We can't make this up. We can't make this up. We just said we were going to take a 5 to 10 minute sell off the potential rejection of this trend. Guys. Now, in the next video, I'm going to break down divergence, and I'm going to break down a couple indicators that can help you determine if you should be looking for sells at this area. Let's see what the RSI shows. I'm just going to show this for a personal example. I just want to see. Don't pay much attention to this, because I'm going to go in depth and detail in future videos on how to explain these indicators. That way you can use them to your advantage and make some money with them. RSI, relative strength index, boom. Oh, did I already get it? No, here we go. So we're just going to we're going to go the upper band red. Lower band, lower band, we're going to go green. Make it a little bigger. Make it a line. Okay. Back into it. The 50, we're going to make yellow. Right. 2. Default. Alright. So I see a great trade, and I can't wait to show you guys how to use market structure with an indicator's RSI, how you can use it to your advantage to take trades in the market. So for an example, you guys see here, let me just delete this. You guys can see right here that price pushed up, is starting to push up towards that trend that we have marked up, and then this whole area that we already know price could potentially work up to and get knocked down, because we have it marked up as a resistance zone, guys. We have it marked up as a resistance zone. Look, our red color is our resistance, or our red color is our resistance zone. So we know that when price in the future could potentially work up to here, it could get knocked down. As you see, I'll draw a vertical line. Price worked up to that zone and got knocked down. At the same time, prices in this resistance area, take a look at this. Take a look at this. We have confirmation from our RSI. We have confirmation from our RSI that price is overbought, and we should be looking for a potential correction or a potential sell or a potential turnaround, right? Guys, when you're up at the 70 or higher, you're looking for potential sells based off the RSI. So as you can see, the RSI came up. At the same time it came up to this rejection zone. We were overbought. We would have been looking for 5-minute sells, 10-minute sells, because we can't take a 5-minute sell. But for this example, we'd have took a 10-minute sell. And guys, we'd be in the trade. We'd be in the trade. We'd be in the trade, and it'd be in profits, guys. We'd be in profits. We'd be in profits. Let's see how the second 5-minute candle finishes, and see if we'd have won this trade or not. Well, actually, we'd have won this trade, guys. I'm sorry. We'd have took this trade here based off the being overbought and at the resistance level. We'd have took a 10-minute sell, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Look at that. Look at that big drop the next 10 minutes. 10 to 20 minutes. You guys can see 5, 10, 15, 20. Just melted, guys. So here we are. Price dropped from the RSI being overbought, and now we're back up in that rejection zone. And let's see what happens. Now, this time when we come up to the rejection zone, the RSI is not in the oversold area. But again, I'm going to go in detail in future videos explaining the RSI and a few other indicators that you can use to help you have a slight edge in the market with your basic knowledge of market structure. I don't want to give you guys too much info right now. I just want you guys to understand, how to use TradingView, how to mark up your charts, what you're looking for while you're looking at the chart, and the simplicity of just repetition of marking up your charts, finding the support, finding the resistance. Let me get rid of this. I'm gonna get rid of this RSI, and we'll go into, like I said, guys, look for future videos on this channel. We're gonna be sharing a lot more value and a lot more content, and we're gonna impact the masses here, guys, and just really change the lives of so many people by the comfort of their own home, or as long as they have Wi-Fi or internet service, they can get in these markets with us and get the bad guys, and that's just incredible. In order to be a profitable trader, you just got to put in the work, guys. You just got to put in the work. All right, so here we are. We're on the 5-minute time frame. We got our zones marked up. So what are we doing? What are we doing? What I like to do is I like to set alerts. Okay? I like to set price alerts. Well, what's that mean, Chris? Great question. So you see here, this is a resistance area, and this is a resistance area, and this is a trend resistance area, and this is a trend resistance area. Now I'm not going to have all these marked, but what I'm going to do, I'm not going to create a I'm not going to create an alert for each of these lines. I'm going to create an alert where price could actually potentially come to or move away from, and when it hits it, I want to be aware of it, right? So I'll set an alert on my support, Because you bet your butt, if price comes back down to this area, I want to see what's going to happen. Are we going to bounce from this area? Or are we going to break this area and continue down? Who knows? But if we set the alert, we can be ready. As soon as the alert goes off, we're going to get notified, and then we pay attention thereafter on how the market reacts. Is it going to break this area? Is it going to respect it and start pushing up, or is it going to break and drop? And that's something we'll have to decide when price comes back here. But the good thing is we'll be notified when price does come here, because we set our alert. The way you know your alert's set is you'll have a little alarm clock on the left hand side of where you start your line at. So we got an alert there. Now I would also set an alert either here, or even potentially I would set the alert on this one here. So I look to the left, I got the alert set here, and I look to the left. Oh yeah, this is a line graph, so I won't be able to see the alarm, but I'll know it's there because when I click on it, you can also click on it, and you see how the alarm is highlighted here. You can click edit alert, delete, yes, and now that alert's gone, and you won't get notified when price pushes up there. Just delete these alerts, except for that support. So yeah, that is and what you see on the daily time frame as far as candles and engulfing candles and stuff like that. I'm gonna go more in depth in that in the future videos as well. Right now, I just wanted to show you guys just the simplicity of, but going in depth a little bit on understanding where to find structure, where to find trends, and how to determine what is a trend, how to determine what a support or resistance is. And if you are ever confused, you just want to look to the left if possible, and see how price has reacted at that area, right? So we knew just by looking at this information here that this area was a decent area. But if you weren't sure and you wanted to check it out, like I said, just look to the left, and if price has come down to that area in the past and has moved away from it, well, odds are good that in the future, when it comes to it, it's going to react similar until it doesn't, right? Until it doesn't. And let me show you what I mean until it doesn't. Right here. Let me delete this one. See how price was always bouncing, even here, guys. Like we showed you, even here, bounce from this area, bounce from this area. Now, you can see here, it broke this area significantly. So that way, when price came back up, you knew, hey, we could take a 3-minute sell, 5-minute sell. You knew as soon as price hit this area, you could start looking for sells, because it was your first retest of the break. So it broke, came back up, rejected right there, rejected there, and also rejected there, which is cool. But the retest would have been here. Price broke, came back up, retested. This is where you would start looking for sells, and you're winning sells here, guys. You're winning sells. As you can see, price moved down for the next hour or two, and then started pushing back up. Came back up to the same rejection area. Boom, got rejected, and is now consolidating. Came back up to the rejection area again over here, and then got slapped back down as well. So that's that with TradingView when it comes to you know, basic market structure, finding support, finding your resistance, finding your area that was support that may now be a resistance, or finding that area that was a resistance but now price is staying above that area, so now that resistance has now flipped to a support. And then in addition to that, guys, I'm going to show you you know, just the tools and the stuff on the side. Also, I'd like to show you this right here. You see this little 4-line page thing? If you click on it, this is going to be your watch list. Now your watch list is going to, you could put all the pairs, your favorite currency pairs that you want to trade or follow. You can just simply hit this plus sign, type in your pair that you're looking at, and then you could hit enter and it would automatically go here. But guys, I'm going to stick to Oanda for binary because I believe it's the closest to the broker. So I'm changing all my pairs to Oanda. So I just click on it and boom, as you can see, it comes down and I'm at EuroCAD. EuroCAD will be here at the bottom. The newest pair that you add is always going to be at the bottom. It's always going to be at the bottom. And then you can see you have all these pairs that I've already added. If you want to remove a pair, you just click on it and I'm sorry. Yeah, you click on it and then you see there's this little X right here. You just hit that X and then it'll delete it. Yeah. So I like to, instead of going over here and switching, my pairs all the time, manually type them in, I just like the fact that I have my watch list open here. I can go to AUD JPY, I can go to Bitcoin, I go to Euro AUD, I go to GJ, GBP or GBP USD, and I can just keep trading and keep looking at the charts, following the setups, just by something as simple as setting up my my watch list. So remember, guys, hit the plus sign, type in the pair that you're looking for, and Oanda is going to be the broker that we're going to want to look at, or the exchange that we're going to want to trade from, do our analysis from, because that's the one that's close enough to the binary brokers, right? Does that make sense, guys? If that makes sense. Now over here on the left hand side, we have some tools and drawing tools that we can use. Here you have the cross, the dot, arrow, eraser. I personally keep it on the cross, my fave. Here you can have the arrow, trend. You can find the trend lines. So these are the ones that I pay attention to, right? I pay attention to the trend line, horizontal line, horizontal ray, vertical. Don't usually use cross line. I do the arrows. So yeah, these are the ones that I personally pay attention to and that I use quite often. The ones that I just started. Trend line is going to be just a flat line that we can figure out for the trend. Pretty self-explanatory, but horizontal line is going to be the line straight through. Horizontal ray is going to be the cutoff over, so anywhere from, for the horizontal ray, wherever you want it and over. So if you want price to be here, it's going to go from there to the right. If that makes sense, guys. Drop some comments or something in the chat. And then we got the arrow, the vertical up and down line. So all you have to do is click this little arrow over and you'll see all the tools that you have to use, the drawing tools you have to use. Now here's some like other tools and that you can use. The fib retracement, the Fibonacci retracement is right here, And guys, in future videos, I'm going to go in more depth on some of these indicators and some of these tools. But for this video, I wanted to keep it simple and just, the simplicity of market structure and marking up your charts that way. And then, anything that you want to look at, you can click the arrow. You have your paintbrush where you can draw. Then you have, highlighter, that if you wanted to highlight something. Path of the market, the move of the market, here it comes, there, boom. You can act like you're going to anticipate something, right? Get ready for a future move. This is a rectangle. Like I said, this is how I like to mark up my zone sometimes. So if I know, like, okay, if price comes, oops, actually it'll be right here. So from the top of these wicks to, or the top of these candle to the top of these candles, no wicks, is where I would say, okay, it broke this zone. When price comes back and works into this area, I'm gonna snag a buy. And as you guys can see, price came back, wick touched it just once, we had entered that buy there, and we'd be snipers in the market, guys. We'd be snipers in the market. So that was a box. Arrow over, and you can see, the other tools that you have if you want to highlight something. Oh, is this a higher high? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Is this a higher low? Yes, it is. So you could mark it up, and that way you have an area that you have, whatever, just to draw, for drawing purposes. And here, guys, this is what I like to do. Like when I set up a forex trade, if I'm looking for a buy, my stop loss is going to be beneath this area. Our entry is going to be when it comes up here, and our target's going to be all the way up there. It's going to tell you your risk to reward ratio. So this is 7 to 1. 7 to 1, basically. That's an amazing trade setup. And the same thing for a sell, guys. Same thing for a sell, which is going to be your short position. The green box is going to go to the downside. This will be your stop loss if we're selling. What else? Oh, this one, date range and then price range. These are the only two that I'm going to mention right here. So date range, we can see how many days. So remember, actually, let me go to the daily, for example. Let me go to the daily, and let's do it again. Okay, so this is a daily. So remember, each candle represents 1 day. Each candle represents 1 day on the daily time frame. So we're going to go from here to here, and that's going to be 162 bars, which is, this says 262 days. It's going to be 224 days, this move from here to here. From here to here. Now, price range. This is going to calculate potential pips that you're moving to the upside, moving to the downside, right? So if you're going, if you're looking to sell, you're selling here and you're taking profit here, well, that's a 260 pip take profit, and your stop loss is going to be 100 pips, right? This is just to indicate how many potential points that you're going to get off of a potential move, or to find how many. If you're you don't really have to get into that. That's more of like the advanced for taking your own personal forex trades and such. But for the overall, guys, I hope you guys understood. Hope you guys caught some value from this TradingView overview, and most importantly, I hope you guys you get understanding on how to set up your chart, because that's what matters to me, guys. I want to help you guys set up your charts. So as you guys can see here, actually let's look at it on this one, because we had it marked up. And boom. Okay, guys. So as you guys see here, we broke that trend again. We're coming back up to this resistance zone. Are we going to break out and go to the upside, or are we going to get rejected and come to the downside? Guys, I'm more bearish in this scenario, unfortunately, just because how price has reacted and been acting. So I think we're going to make this low here. I think we're actually going to come down. When I look on the daily, what I see on XRP/USD is I see an order block coming in around 26 cents. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm going to go to horizontal array. Put in the price 0.2641. Okay, and we're going to change it to yellow so that way I see it. There we go. So now, just like I said, guys, this I'm just looking for an order block. I swear I saw an order block the other day. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm going to get into it and go over order blocks in a future video, guys. So I just want to keep the basics. So this video was a little bit long, guys, but I hope you guys understand, caught some value. I hope you guys truly understand, you know, how to mark up your charts from this video. And all we're doing is finding support, resistance zones, and all we need is price action. Price action is telling the story, guys. All we're responsible to do is just mark it up, right? Follow the story, follow along, and you can anticipate the move, or you can wait for the breaks to happen, which is, you know, the smart play, the smart money, right? In my opinion, waiting for like the break of structure to happen, the retest to happen, the pullbacks to happen. There's no reason to rush any trade, guys. There always be opportunities in the market. So if you feel like you've missed a trade, odds are you've most likely missed it. Odds are, guys, if you've thought about not taking a trade or thought about taking a trade, and you're thinking if you're thinking about taking a trade when it comes to binary NFX trading, just know you've already missed the boat, and let it go, guys. Let it go. With that being said, guys, I've taken, you know, an hour of your time. I hope you caught some value in this. And again, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for hopping on, checking out my channel, and see you guys on the next one. Remember, guys, it's a Real Binary Master. Drop your comments in the chats. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate you. Bye for now.